Hello, hello. Good afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Just adjusting some settings here before we kick off. Okay, yeah. Last time I blasted everyone's earbuds out. When I had the volume of the game screen a little bit high. So just making sure that the computer audio is at a respectable level. Morning, Toasty. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a little bit of an update of the Knitty Nook or the Knitty game world that we've been developing. I'm going to just take a look at it and just have a little play around, basically. And I should be able to load that up now, actually. I've sorted the volume out. I'll lower it right down so that hopefully it's not too intrusive. And I'll just have it up and running in the background. I need to turn it down for me though. I guess one of the next steps that I need to do is add the sort of menu loops into the environment, but I'll talk about that later. So as per usual, if you have any questions you want to ask or anything you'd like me to talk about specifically, then drop it in the YouTube chat or in the Discord chat. And then I'll try and get to it as soon as I can, or as soon as I see it. Okay, so I'm just going to fire up Twitter and drop a tweet. It's probably going to wreck my screen now, isn't it? Yeah. Let's drop that over there. There we go. Morning, Brian. There's an interesting chat about engagement going on at the moment, isn't there? Because on Twitter they've put the views of a tweet available, right? And our sort of, a lot of the people who have come in from Hi Rowdy, Hi Potato, have a lot of people who've come into the Cardano community recently have got a lot of followers, right? And they're talking about engagement and all this kind of stuff, and how like Cardano projects don't do enough to engage other projects and stuff. But when you actually look at the tweets and the views versus the likes and stuff, the ratio is actually quite low still, even for those high number accounts. Like, they get more engagement, but the ratio of engagement is about the same per view. Found that really interesting. I put a tweet out earlier with a screenshot of the latest BAYC Bored Ape Yacht Club trailer that they dropped, and the engagement was basically one engagement event per 100 views. So that's like an engagement ratio of like 1%, like, per view, right? Or per 100 views. And just as a quick test, I sort of put something out earlier just about indie games being developed by people, and I did one tag and just NFT gaming, and it's only been viewed 64 times, but there's 7 engagements on it, right? So the ratio is like 10 times higher than that of a high follower account, just on a random tweet that, with only one hashtag and that kind of stuff. Oh, really interesting. It's just an interesting discussion that's going on at the moment. You've got the seems to be this sort of like sub debate going on in the space about the techies and in it for the tech and the developers versus the ideas guys, right? The ideas guys saying, oh no, you've got to engage, you've got to do engagement farming and all that kind of stuff. But then when you look at the stats, you know. Anyway, hi Bishop, hi Colvin. So, right. So as per usual, if you've got any questions, and drop them in the Discord chat or in the YouTube chat. And what we're going to do is just have a quick look at the latest updates that we've been posting. I've had a bit of time off work last week or so. Yes, about a week and a bit I've had off work at the moment, and I've got about another 2 weeks off. And obviously there's going to be some family time and stuff in there, but this work package that we're currently working through is quite an extensive work package in terms of developing the infrastructure for the Knitties game. And the way we tend to work, and people who are involved in the project kind of know this, is we tend to work in bursts, or I guess in industry we might call them crunches, but that's not it's not a favourable way of working these days. But we work in these bursts, when we complete like a series of work, and I've got an idea of how much work I want to get done and like aspire to get done within that burst, and this is the latest of that. So this is quite a fun little demo, but bear in mind, like, this isn't actually what you see here. Is just using the underlying infrastructure. The work is being put into the infrastructure that's underneath this. Just because there's Christmas trees and Christmas presents, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that it took a ton of time or a ton of resource to create. Now, how many of you are on computer right now? Because it'd be interesting to get some of you in actually, and I could give you the link, and you can come in and access this, because this is live online right now, and you could join it if you wanted to. So we can share the link. Now, as a caveat, actually I'll share the caveat when we decide if people are going to want to be able to come in. So anyway, we've been working on our control system and creating a modular control system, which is basically works with keyboard and mouse and controllers and all that stuff. But work with keyboard if you're on a keyboard. I mean, I'd argue it's better with a controller, but the way we've done it now is previously, you may recall, we had like an analog input system. So you'd lightly push on the stick and you'd get a walk or a slower movement, just moving away slightly from that, because we wanted the experience to be the same for everyone. So what we've got now is just a very slight acceleration through the animation cycle. So it's very slight acceleration, and we've got like a boost button as well, which allows us to sprint and move a bit faster if we wanted to. So yeah, it just means that the experience of keyboard users is broadly the same as controller users, and vice versa. So here's kind of where we're up to. We've been building out that system, been building out a modular sound system. I'm not there with the sound. Sound is quite new to me at the moment, and so I'm kind of learning how that works currently, because I'm not a sound guy. So I've been doing a bit of that. And coding for networking is really, really complex. And the way that we're doing this is just makes it like a factor more complex as well. But anyway, here's where we're at. We've got a really nice control system going. Everything works as you would expect it to. And we're sort of looking at this arena style setup for some of the nooks. Got a little snowman up there for anyone who can actually get up there. The jump doesn't take you high enough. So one of the cool mechanics that we've been doing is, I'll share the link in a minute, if that's okay, because I need to sort of explain something. There's a lot of caveats to this, So one of the things we've been looking at is randomization of Knitties. Now, this isn't actually going to be in the game environment, right? This kind of thing that you're about to see, where I can just go up to here and change out my Knitty, like at the push of a button. You're not going to see that in the game, apart from probably on the Knitty building screen. You'll be able to randomize your Knitty based on all the legal combinations that you can make, or game legal, machine legal combinations that you can make. This is purely there to test something that we wanted to do, or that I wanted to implement. And what I wanted to implement was this. I should really be looking at my game screen, although rather than the stream window. So this is pretty nice, what I'm about to do now. So we've got a nice little physics explosion effect going on here, and the explosion can impact the Knitty in different ways. Like obviously physically it impacts the Knitty, but also I can change status, I can change items on the Knitty, and this is going to be important for the game that we are building, basically. So we want effects to be like, we want humorous things to happen. We want it to be quite fun, and So and items that are important to be visible on the Knitty. So we just decided that we do something quite fun for the holiday and for people who are testing it. And this is kind of where we're up to at the moment. So, but however, obviously there's this whole networking and multiplayer aspect behind this as well. Now, those caveats before I share the link. This is not operating off server. What we're doing is we're using a relay system to send information between clients and hosts. So it's a host and client setup. That does mean that we are subject to I would say, the old style of networked gaming. Like when you originally, like any of you who played the original Gears of War, for example, will be aware of the term host chainsaw, right? Where the host can just run around chainsawing everyone because they've got a better connection than everyone else because they're the host of the game. That's the sort of thing that you're going to get here as well for the time being. And the reason for that is that we are subject to region. We're subject to people's connection speeds and all that kind of stuff. And these are things that also affect server-based setups as well. But the server-based setups will tend to run, like the server will be a higher machine with a really strong connection. So therefore, it can handle those things a lot better. Like you are completely subject to my connection to the relay, right? Which will determine the speed of your updates and all that kind of stuff. So the reason we're doing it like this is that we're talking about Web3 gaming and decentralization and that kind of stuff. And I think a lot of systems are planning on using servers, which is like totally centralized, right? And then we just thought, well, we can switch over to a server if we need to. But one thing we can also do is we can put out a headless version of the Knitties game so that anyone can run it on a server if they wanted to, which is something quite interesting for the future potentially. So that's the kind of system that we're going to probably operate on, is try and be as decentralized as possible. There's also a method that we've also looked into, which is shared client. It's kind of a newer method of doing networked gaming, but it's not that refined, so just need to work with that a little bit. So with that caveat, you are going to experience, but depending on where you are in the world, you are going to experience a few issues. Now I'm in the UK. The relay I've currently set up, the relay can be pretty much anywhere in the world. There are relays in the US, EU, China, I think Australia or New Zealand as well. but the current relay we're using is in America. So my connection to that relay is obviously not going to be as good as someone who's based in America. So ultimately, I'm the first person in, which means I'm the host. It does mean that everyone else is probably going to experience some lag, and I'm streaming. So, okay, so we'll see how it goes. All right, but the link will be operational afterwards as well if anyone wants to play around with it. So let's just grab the link. I did copy it earlier. It's in our team chat. So the team's just been playing around with this. So yeah, you are going to experience a few things, I expect. Now, something that's also you've also experienced is, and we have only just found this out really as a team. WebGL games are delivered in browsers, right? Most modern browsers we've just discovered, if the tab is not the most, excuse me, I'm just going to sneeze. Excuse me. If the tab is not the most forefront tab, like if it's in the background or you're typing into another app, browsers like Chrome does it quite a bit, will throttle the connection to that tab by 10 times, right? So if you're sending like 10 updates a second to the host, if you start typing in Discord, it'll only start sending like 1 update per second to the host. Now, if you're the host, that's terrible because that just impacts everyone. So it's just really interesting, like as we sort of try and navigate the Web3 gaming world, right? These are issues that people are going to run into, like all those metaverses. Are you going to have to download an app for those things now, you know? Or are they going to be running in browser? Like, how's that going to work? Anyway, let's get this link. I'll drop it in the YouTube chat. Okay, there it is. So we're probably going to see a few people coming in now. Hopefully, we'll see. Like, I don't know how good my connection is. Got to be honest. It might be a shocking connection. In which case, I'll come out and someone in the US can host it. There's someone now. I reckon that's probably potato. Yeah, a Christmas stew. So yeah, a little bit laggy on my screen. There's some more people coming in now. Yeah, you can see on my screen like it's a little bit laggy, isn't it? Okay, so it's WASD for keyboard users. Apologies again, that caveat. If it's a bit laggy, then that's why. If you want to change clothes, then on the controller, it's you stand on the pink bit, and it's the north button, which is Q on the keyboard, and E will drop the present. Top right shoulder, or right shoulder button for controller users. Well, people seem to be moving around easy enough. But yeah, it's we deliberately set it up so it'll be in the US this time, just so we could test any issues. Because we've been testing it in the EU recently, but we realised most of our audience are in the US. So So yeah, it's kind of fun. You can kind of see like when there's a few people in here, you can kind of see like the gameplay elements forming. So this person here is jumping up and down. So some of this, like some people might be lagging, which is, yeah, as I said, it's kind of expected with this sort of arrangement. And again, this is kind of early days for us, right? So we'll keep working away on it and keep plugging away and see if there's any ways that we can sync things a little bit better, more effectively. Shared client mode is actually quite a good way to work for this kind of stuff. But it affects other things like physics systems and things, you know. Someone's on the Christmas tree. Did anyone get up to the... Did someone get up there? No one's got up to the... There we go. No one's got up to the snowman platform yet. Oh, and so you can emote as well. So so if you hold down the left shoulder button on the controller and just push in a direction, you've got a little emote wheel. There are 8 different emotes. It can be quite hard. They're in each of the different directions, right? Compass directions. So it can be quite hard to do that on an analog controller. On keyboard, if you hold down, I think it's tab on keyboard. Yeah. If you hold down tab on keyboard, then you can do those emotes. I wonder if this is the most people we've had in. Okay, it's just Christmased everyone. Someone just Christmased everyone. It's quite funny when you get exploded whilst you're already down, like your body just goes boof, boof. Yeah, it's quite fun. How's it running, guys? Just let me know how it's running. It's okay if it's laggy, like we're expecting it to be, so obviously we'd like to fix that, but then I keep saying, yeah, we're early days, right? I'm going to be a spoil sport here. I'm going to... Can I? Oh. Trying to bomb someone's head. Oh, Toasty wants a Knitty totem on the other platform so that someone can jump up to the snowman or the snow person. This one here. Toasty says it's pretty smooth, laggy but looks good. Yeah, there are some things like my knowledge of networking as well is kind of improving, and so there are some things I'm aware of that I'm going to need to. Yeah, if you're in the UK, it's definitely going to be laggy for you. In the US, it'll be a lot faster. So what we need is someone to stand behind us so that someone can try and get on top of whoever that is. And then we need someone to try and get on top so that we can get onto the snowman. It's quite a big jump over there, isn't it? Like, you have to be, I reckon it's going to be quite difficult to get there. The idea was you'd have to get like quite a few people in to be able to do it. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, you can start seeing the gameplay ideas, like free play mechanics that people might start coming up with. And that's really the kind of exciting thing at the moment, is just seeing how people play, and then we can adapt the mechanics around that, which I think is quite exciting. Did anyone get up there? Oh, we look close. Oh, someone got up there. Who is that? Who got up there? I think whoever's on top of my head, if someone goes on top of my head, they'll be able to get up there if anyone else wants to get up there. Bob got up there. Awesome. Bob, you don't have a Christmas hat. Bomb yourself so that you get a Christmas hat. You've got to have a Christmas hat if you're on the snowman platform. But mind you, don't get blown up. Don't get blown off. What happened? Is he still up there? Did Bob bomb himself off the platform? Oh, he's still up there. Awesome. Hey, awesome. We did it. Great work. Look at all these Christmas hats. It'd be pretty cool actually just to see if we can just bomb everyone all at once, but there's so much lag on the stream that I'll just put it in chat instead. This is pretty cool, isn't it? Like, I haven't seen any other NFT game like on Cardano where you've got like all these different sort of looking characters running around and interacting in this kind of way. Yeah, this is really cool. Now, obviously, we don't have wallet connections active right now, so this is because we just wanted to test everything. Hey, Christmases, if you come down here, then we can all just bomb each other around the Christmas tree. We can give each other presents around the Christmas tree. Ah! Hearing people put presents down and running away. I'm gathering around the Christmas tree waiting for people to come and do presents. Right. It's just so cool, like seeing everyone just get the Christmas hats. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Tales of Dramadonia. Do we know you? You're in the Discord? I've not seen your username before. I love it when you're on the ground already and it goes again. Like you get another explosion. So yeah, this is what I love about it. It's like this free play stuff. Like you don't know how people are going to play a game until you give it to them. And there's this whole thing at the moment, especially like it's been a bit of a trend in games development circles for a while. But when you hi Tails, when you drop a game or a producer, a developer drops their game and people are like, this isn't what I was expecting, it plays differently, and then the developers like, well, and fans of the game are like, yeah, you're not playing it right. You're not playing the game in the right way. So with something like this, this kind of sandbox type environment, it's really good to see how people play, and then you can adapt the game to how people want to play later. So I don't know how people are finding this, but I'm seeing loads of bombs getting dropped. presents. Their presents. So the blast radius is about 3 units, or 3 Knitties. How big is that in Knitties? Okay, I think we're down to like 4 people, 5 people now. Okay. Oh, this would be quite an interesting one. Okay. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, by the way, whoever's host, if they back out, the whole game is going to just go down. All right, so you'd have to refresh your tab. So I'll leave it up for a bit, but we need to. I need to code something to handle host migration. So I'll it's on the work list, you know. It's just so cool seeing people run around in this and play. Will this hit the person that's on the tree? Yeah, it did. Awesome. So yeah, so what's to do? You know, there's quite a lot of assets still to get in. So a lot of art assets to do that isn't in this body of work currently. In this body of work currently, I can just switch to the booster chat to actually see this because I've been keeping track of things on there. Inter-platform modular control system. That's kind of, you know, that's in there pretty much. I mean, it's good to go. I wouldn't say it's production ready yet, but you know, we've got a long time left in our development. A modular camera system, I didn't mention that before. So when you hold down the pose button, you're going to get a really nice animation going in. That's using a system called Cine Machine. And yeah, so you can see like a camera go in, and then when you do your emote, you know, you get like a really nice view of it. And I've coded in some really nice emote blending, so you can blend between the emotes. So here's one of the dances, and if I roll it around, it's going to start blending it into one of the other dances, or blending it into clapping. Now, if we get the right set of emotes up, this could be quite interesting. So basically, you can like blend between different emotes, which I think is quite cool. So this is a blend here between, looks like conversation emote, waving emote, and then if I go sort of try and get between them, you see that left arm's going to go up because it's waving whilst talking. So yeah, you get those sorts of really cool details, and I thought that was really nice, and I've not seen that done before, so I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, close combos. Bishop's saying that the close combos are really cool. Yeah, so obviously the close combos are going to be restricted based on which Knitties you own in the future. But at the moment it's just open, right? So, for example, red Knitty, yeah? There's only one of them. There's only going to be one Knitty that's like that specific hue and tone of red, and that Knitty is owned by Fahadukan. So only Fahadukan will be this colour. Now, he'll only be able to put on the wings and all that sort of stuff if he's got those items in S2. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. But there will be other red ones. They just won't be this red. Like the Fahadukan, well, it's Fahadukan's for now, but the 666 Knitties red will be quite, you know, strong. It'll be a bold red like this is on the screen right now. This green is the Frank green from S1, so there's only 5 of those in that particular green. That's Minty Fresh, or the current iteration of Minty Fresh. This is Teddy, so this is going to be one of the default colours for people who might have an S2 but they don't have an S1. So I think it's Teddy, or is it Cappuccino or something? Yeah, you can get a better look at it there, look. Knitty next to me, grey, default grey. Another one of the default settings. There will be more colourful versions. I mean, most people, in an ideal world, if the Knitties world sort of takes off as a brand, that kind of stuff, there'll be a lot more people playing it than the 10,000 original Knitties, right? So we want them to have access to really colourful Knitties as well, you know. So there'll be more colours available for them. And it may well be that we have other mints with like new yarn colours and all that kind of stuff, you know. This one is it Outrun or I can't remember. Oh no, this is 1, 2, 3, isn't it? Sunny Side Up, Avocado, and Cinnamon. Cool. Yeah, so let me just Christmas everyone. It just works so well. Okay. So yeah, pretty cool. So I think we also had a combo counter somewhere. So current combos is like over maybe just under 2 million different combos, and there's so many more things to be put in. Like, I think I'm just over 50% of the assets, and obviously the asset sets are going to be growing as well. So there's you're going to have a unique Knitty if you want one, you know. It's pretty cool, I think. Yeah, the combos, like when they start getting put together, like they just look so cool. Now there are a few issues. So the hoodie clips through the rucksack at the moment, so we need to change up a few bits. Basically I need to move the hood up. If you've got a rucksack on, just move the hood up. There's some graphical issues, like you can see at the moment we've got some Z sorting issues. So you can see here the sticker on the back of the helmet, but you can see it on the presents as well. This is where objects or faces are so close to other faces that the camera can't distinguish between them at a certain distance. If we get closer up, that will go away. So you can see the flickering goes away here, because like the distance between that face like of the ribbon versus like the wrapping paper behind it gets easier for the camera to pick up and make a decision about which to render. Whereas when I get over here, it starts sort of flashing, clipping through one another. And that's because the distance is between them is at a float value or a point value or whatever, floats we call them, that is lower than the lowest number that the camera can distinguish between. So for example, this might be like the compressed distance of this might be like 0.00001, but the camera only does like 3 zeros or 3 decimal points, right? In which case they're both the same value. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. Yeah, so fun. Okay, we've got someone up on the platforms. That's pretty cool. Right, so I'm going to back out, and if it crashes, you know why. You know why it crashes. It will crash. Someone's trying to emote here. Can you see that? Now I'm seeing a glitch here because the values for the emote system are not synced up, which means that I only get snapshots of what position the Knitty's in, rather than seeing a consistent animation flow. So that's again one of those things I need to try and fix. Okay, so you're all gonna crash now, I'm afraid. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, it's really awesome seeing everyone running around. I'd love Udon to design some more stuff for us. Maybe in a future mint, we can do something. With like specifically the things and the patterns he designed, we can only use them for the things that he designed them for. Like that's in the agreement that we have with the artists that we collaborated with. We can only use the things they design in the format for which they were designed. So the pattern that Udon did for the hoodie can only ever be on the hoodie, right? So, and that's something we did deliberately because we were also exploring rights management within digital art for NFTs and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So, yeah, I did a typo on our on the tweet about this stream, didn't I? I said that I was going to go streaking. So, apologies if you tuned in for that, but for everyone else, thankfully, it was just a typo. I think the world's ready for that. Okay, so we do have some time for some questions. So if anyone wants to ask me anything, what's next? Like what's next in the work package, or anything else? I guess I can start talking about that now. I should probably just load in again, right? So there's something interesting in the background. Maybe the link will still work. I mean, presumably someone's probably clicked on it again now. So let's just. I don't know, first in again. Host again. Let's just drop that back there. So I should have just left it running, shouldn't I? Okay. So what is next in the work package? It's just so fun, right? Just playing around, like the sounds add so much to it, right? I mean, you can just like play around, and as soon as I've added a few more things to this, a couple more little gameplay elements, then this will be like way different. So I think I demoed something a couple of weeks ago, which was golfing. And we're just playing golf, so it'd be pretty cool if we had like I don't know, like maybe a little putting green down here, and maybe did some golf. I don't know, it's not on the current work package. I just did that because I wanted to play around with an idea I had for impromptu sort of play, you know. But the layout, by the way, of the level, this kind of arena type layout, it's like a Smash layout, but the Smash part is at the back, and then you've got other stuff at the front. Now, the way that the camera in Knitties is going to be, is it's going to be like from this angle all the time. And as you go around in 3D, like for example, there could be another nook to the right here, but it's like facing 90 degree angle. The camera will spin around and be fixed to that. Okay, so the camera is always going to be facing like the arena area that you're in, basically, or the nook, we should call it. So fun. It is so fun. I think 7 might be the actually the most, or was it 8? I can't remember. This week we can take 16 though at the moment, so it'd be really interesting to see how it handles 16, because we've not tried that yet. So you can jump really high, by the way. If you jump on a bomb at exactly the right time, you can just get really high. Jump really high. So yeah, current work package. So I've kind of gone through the things that are on the work package, I guess, or maybe I stopped halfway. So basic arena style play mechanics, but we're not doing win-lose conditions just yet. And we kind of got like, we've already got something in, right? This is quite fun. So there'll be a couple more mechanics that are a little bit like this, kind of fun and playful, right? So probably add a few more that are kind of like this and quite interactive and have impacts on other Knitties and all that kind of stuff. Multiplayer networking functionality, so lobbies and regions, all that kind of stuff. Now at the moment, like there aren't like, I mean, none of the NFT gaming projects have got a ton of people jumping online in them, right? But so we kind of want to keep. Oh, there we go. I went really high then. We want to keep like to just 1 or 2 rooms ideally. So maybe we'll have a US room and an EU room, something like that. And we'll just force people into those rooms, I think, just so that there's always people playing together. There is also a single player option, like where you'll be able to press single player. People who played the previous demo will remember it just said single player at the top, and you can play that, and it'll just be a locally hosted game. You still need to be network connected though. So we've got to deal with multiplayer networking functionality, and that is in this work package, but we kind of already achieved that, but it's just this extra level of functionality that if there's time we want to stack it on top of it. And also custom Knitties. We'd like to be able to customize our Knitty, please. So yeah, getting the wallet reading system up and running will be the next step, probably that we implement. So that'll be the next thing that we do. And at that point, we might run another mint, trying out minting of a skin, which would be like an access token, or a blue label Knitty. So it would be like the same Knitty, and it would just be like a time limited mint. So it'd be open mint, but time limited. And you would it'll probably be like possibly a New Year Knitty, like, you know, I survived the 2022 bear market and all this kind of stuff, something like that. And we'll do something special for that. And then we want to do the mint once people are able to access that mint in the game. Like, we don't want to. The reason we haven't minted for a little while now is we committed to getting the next alpha done first and then minting, so that people could see the results of their mint in the game, like in the current MVP, minimum viable product, or vertical slice of the game. So yeah, that's kind of what we're working on. And you know, when we're working, like when we're going through a work package, we do progress quite quickly. So we have a lot of updates very, very quickly in a short space of time. And you've just seen, like in the last week, how far we've come along here. And this is a deliberate, like, you know, the game world that we're playing in. This is a deliberately testable world, right? So it's very basic. You've seen some of the other screenshots probably of like the desk environment, that kind of thing. That will still happen. It's just that it wasn't appropriate for getting the multiplayer testing up and running. Now that we've done the multiplayer and we've figured out various issues that we might experience, that now we're ready to kind of go into the other environment. Yeah. So I'm not seeing any questions in chat. So we just keep playing around. I don't really have much more to talk about. I mean, we're kind of done talking now. We're kind of actually like building this thing, right? for the next few weeks. Well, obviously I've been building it for a long time, but just the amount of work I've been able to get done in the last few weeks. Hey, big jump, rocket jump. Now, previously you could actually control the direction of the jump when you get blown up, but you're going to be able to do that, but with a different item, and I'll be adding that item, I think, in the future. So there'll be a different type of item that you can drop. So yeah, I mean, if any of you got any ideas for gameplay elements, and just keep us updated with things that you'd like to see, or if you like dip into the alpha and you do something really cool. Oh, did I get an Aeon hoodie and an Aeon helmet? I did. That's quite rare. I need to screenshot that. We need to screenshot it and post it to me. I love that you can kind of tell a little story with these as well, with their emotes. Let's wave at Meh. Hello, Meh. I've not put the Aeon backpack in yet. So that's all these assets I've still got to get in there, like the rocket packs. Yeah, Potato spotted it. I didn't spot it. But like, so the combos just all look so cool, you know? Like they just all look really cool. I'm just so pleased about how it's all come out. It's just amazing that people can kind of see this now as well, and you can kind of see like, oh, that's how all this fits together. You know, they facial expressions, right? So expressions, obviously every S1 has got, Brian's just asking about expressions. So every S1, if anyone, by the way, hasn't got the link, if you go up in the chat, you can access the link and join us. Bear in mind, there's a load of caveats, so I'm not going to go through them again. There will be lag, is what I'm saying, okay? There will be lag, and if you go backwards in the stream, then you'll find out why. But yeah, what's talking about facial expressions? So the expressions have not been added in yet. So add those in, and we're going to start hitting like the multipliers go crazy. Like every level of factor of difference multiplies the amount of different possibilities by like a crazy amount. So when I did like the calculator for all existing assets, you will, hang on, I'll just finish my sentence before I come on to that one. So it goes into the billions so far with just our existing assets. It's pretty crazy. Billions of combination. Brian's now asked, when I'm in Nook, am I able to turn on music? You will be able to. I need to add a menu system for that. I need to add a menu system. Again, it's just super alpha. We just wanted to get this core game loop kind of just demonstrable. And then go from there, basically. I'm running away from the bombs because I don't want to get Christmas hats. No, don't give me a Christmas hat. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, I need to, that game loop. Oh, can't hear me whilst logged in. That's a good point actually, because yeah, unless you're able to mute the tab, that's really interesting. I need to prioritize that, don't I? Because you can't hear me talking whilst you're playing because the music's so absurdly loud, right? So yeah, I need to add a mixer basically to it, and that's all. Like, I want to say it's easy to do. It's fairly trivial, but you still got to do it, right? It doesn't mean just because it's easy doesn't mean you don't have to do it, you know. So I've got to actually spend the time to do that. And the frustrating thing with those sorts of things is they can take quite a bit of time to implement properly, and you get because people expect them. You get very little back from it, right? There's no oh wow, that's amazing, yeah, you made a volume control. There's none of that. So like, you don't get much return in terms of appreciation for the work you do, for those trivial, boring things that people just expect. But yes, you'll be able to do it. Also, there'll be Christmas stew. I'm not a huge fan of Christmas. I mean, I am a bit now, I guess, because we've got a baby now. So looking forward to the first Christmas and presents and all that kind of stuff, and scamming him about Santa Claus for the next 10 years. Yeah, I look forward to it because of that. But I always call people who celebrate Christmas like Christmasers. Yeah, so like today I had to go to the shops and I was like, oh goodness, all the shops are going to be full of Christmases. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is entertaining streaming, but it's yeah. We've added one mechanic here, right? One mechanic. Well, two, I suppose. It's all the same mechanic, really. I mean, and this is just the changing clothes was just proof that we could do it all and sync clothes changes across all the clients, which wasn't working previously, by the way. Yeah, this took quite a bit of work getting this syncing across every client seeing the same update to each Knitty. That took some work. That, I had to learn a lot. I learned a lot doing this. Learned a lot of stuff that will put us in good stead in the future. Totem pole, another totem pole. Okay, let's do another totem pole. Bob got up there before. I'm at the bottom. Let's do it on that side of the platform, because that way there is a barrier behind. This person can't get there. We go. Oh, I thought you'd made it. Who is that? Just struggling to get up there. Must be a keyboard user. There we go. Are people really struggling to get up to that platform? Keyboard users. Oh, just. Now, these platforms are meant to be easy to get to, so something I need to do, I think, is play Smash a little bit and see how their jumping and platform system works these days. So it needs to be like fluid, and you want it to go where you want it to go. So that, the 3 C's of game design are character, control, and camera, right? These are the main things that you should always focus on in any game. Character, controls, and camera. If you get those things right, then the rest, will form around it, but nothing else is priority. I'd say it was lagging. Yeah, so this is why we lag, right? Oh, someone's just Christmas us. Left us a little present. Oh, there's a blue matchy there. So I'm host, I'm in the UK, the relay's in the US. So if Jacket and I were playing normally, what we'd do is we'd host it on a European relay, right? Then the game can auto select that for us. Can put us in the best relay, and put us in the best room based on our region. We can do all that already. I mean, in fact, it was really confusing when we first started testing, because I joined the game and Adam would join the game and he'd be like, I can't see you. And it was turns out it automatically, the relay we're using automatically puts us into different rooms based on our region. So we already have that functionality. The relay does it for us, it's automated. But currently we're all on a US relay, so I forced it into a US relay. Someone's dropping bombs. And so as host, what happens is there are client authoritative events. These are things that the client does without any interaction with the server. And then there are, let's say it different. There are local events which happen without interaction with the server. There are client authoritative events which are initiated by the client and then distributed to the host and then to all the other clients. And then there are host or server authoritative events which happen only when the host performs them, right? So for example, physics events, you generally want to be handled by the host in most cases. I'm playing around with that, but generally we're finding that you want those to be handled by the host because it syncs a lot better that way. And basically, like every time potatoes moving should be relatively okay, but it will get corrected. So movement will get corrected, which based on the server's authority. So potato will move somewhere, his client moves it, so potato moves, and then by the time like that's come up to the host and gone back down to potato, on the host machine he was in a different position because in the host machine he was in the correct position, but because on potato's machine it didn't have the correct position from the host, he's in a different position. So that's called prediction. Okay, so the client will try and predict where the character is going to be, and that's where you sometimes see things snapping back because they snap back to where they actually are, right? We often compensate for this by over moving as players, right? We move further or less than we thought we needed to go, and then we get snapped back to a different position, and that is a classic latency indicator when you get snapped back to another position. And we can try and accommodate that, we can try and compensate for that, but we've got quite a lot of compensation going on already. Ultimately, potato is sending stuff to a relay, which is getting sent to me, which is getting sent to the relay and getting sent back to potato. That's how it's working. So there are like 4 steps to that connection, and that's fairly standard. That's fairly standard in network gaming. But if you're Activision, you're doing Call of Duty. Is Call of Duty Activision these days? I don't know. But if you're doing Call of Duty, then you've got $1 million server setups, right? We don't have that. So, you know, it's a little bit different for smaller indie projects like us. There's a reason that smaller indie gaming projects tend to be quite low, like have a few physics interactions, you know. See a lot of card games, you know, lots of asynchronous play type things going on in indie titles. And there's a reason for that, you know, indie multiplayer titles, there's a reason for that. It's hard. It's difficult. You know, strategy games. A strategy game. It's fairly easy to synchronize a strategy game like an RTS or like a tower defense type game. It's pretty simple to sync all of that sort of stuff. Whereas like a game like this, like Smash, could you do that? Could you do Smash as an indie developer? I'm not so sure you could. Like you would need to have such a high, what we call tick rate, which is how frequently you send data back and forth from the host and the client. You'd have to have such a high tick rate for something like Smash. because I think you'd need Smash to be like a client authoritative model completely. Because otherwise you're going to be like pressing the punch button, but on the host, like you press the punch button when, or an action button when another character's or an opponent's in a specific area, but on the host they're slightly further back, but on your client machine they were there. So yeah, you need to get that would be really complicated without a lot of money. That would be very complicated problems to resolve, and unfortunately, in networking, most networking problems are resolved with money. So the Bored Ape Yacht Club demo, the what's it called? Other Side, I think it's called Other Side. The demo they did where they had like how many people did they have? Was it like 10,000 people playing or something, which was insane, an amazing achievement, absolutely incredible achievement. Technically, but by all accounts, the estimate is that demo, that 1 hour or 90-minute demo they did, cost close to $250,000 just to run it for 90 minutes, right? So, Oh, we got a totem, guys. Is there someone able to jump up a bit more? Ah, yes, there we go. Someone got up. Who was that? Who's up? Brian, I have to explain like on 5 because I need it myself. Like I don't understand any of this stuff, so like I've had to do loads of reading, and then I go, this doesn't make any sense. About a week ago, I was just like to Adam and in the team chat, I'm going, this just feels so out of reach at the moment. I don't know how to do it. Oh, Ada Planet's on top of the snowman. Awesome. Have you been Christmased? Have you got a Christmas hat on? I hope you've got a Christmas hat on. Yes, 2 people up there. Bob got up there earlier. So you can actually get up there off 2 Knitties. That's pretty good. I can't remember what I was talking about then. But yeah. I was just like, oh my god, I don't know how we're going to get to this point. And then literally like one day later, I'd learned enough and I'd grasped some concepts at the level that I'm okay at in terms of my understanding. And we can't get up there. And if anyone else wants to get up there, we've got a little totem going up here. And so once I'd got my understanding at a certain level, I was much happier, and now like I'm explaining it to you the way that it makes sense to me. Yeah, I've explained it to myself like I'm 5, basically. There is a non-Christmas hat wearing Knitty going up to the snowman platform. I don't know how I feel about this. Yes! I'm up. We need to screenshot. Oh, it's recorded. I don't need to screenshot it. It's on YouTube. Oh my goodness. I wonder how close we are to the bounds. I shouldn't say that, should I? We might be quite close to the bounds at this point. Someone might be able to jump out of bounds at some point. Like by jumping backwards. Because there's a barrier up there, but it's only like 30 units high or something. Oh, okay. This person can't. Try from the other side. That person needs... There we go. Oh my goodness. Someone needs to get further back and take a shot of everyone up. Oh, you can't, can you? Because it's out of shot. Wow. Adam Dean is going to be well jealous. But I'm a little bit disappointed about the lack of a Christmas hat on the person that I'm standing on. Ah! how high we can get. Oh, there we go, there we go. Ah, I'm trying to like create a step for someone to get on. I mean, this is the sort of thing that people do, right? It's like, this is, you can see the barrier behind me. Like I'm trying to move off here, and that's where the barrier is. This is what people do in multiple. Like we talk about play to earn and all this kind of stuff, but people just mess around. Like they sandbox it in like a sort of social way, you know. Oh, we can have voice chat, by the way. I was looking into that, voice and text chat. What I'm thinking of doing is having some select emotes that we can do, like that express a message across the server, or across the relay a message to all the clients. Yeah. I'm pretty sure if we got like 2 Knitties higher, someone might be able to jump out of bounds. It'll be close. The bounds are invisible at the moment. Oh no! I fell off. Yeah, we're doing it as potato. There's quite a few people in the server at the moment. I wish there was a server counter. Sorry, there's quite a few people playing at the moment. So just wish there was a host. Like I think we were over 8. We were over 8 at one point, which is awesome. Is that more? That might be more players, synchronous players, than any of the metaverse projects at this point. All with custom avatars, right? And hopefully from next week, avatars that you've designed yourself and you've curated and picked the things you want. Oh yeah. So emote for round of applause is, if you're on a keyboard, it's going to be tab SD will be applause. Just make sure you hold down tab and let go of the movement keys before you let go of the tab, because otherwise you're gonna like not be able to get up there. Anyway, I don't think anyone else is joining us and trying to get a bit higher. I think this is as far as we get. Yeah, that was pretty cool. There's 8 people in right now, so yeah. So I think this is a pretty cool achievement, you know. I think this is a good achievement. Like we've got 8 people on a crummy connection, playing, dropping bombs, we're chatting, and yeah. This is like Web3 gaming, people. Hi, yeah. Oh, so someone's like, that person's synced up really well. That person who's emoting there. That's syncing really well. Something I also need to do is like, it's quite, maybe I need to have like a walk button. Maybe we need to have a walk button. Did you see that? Someone like, there was a host sync then where the person planted 2 bombs. Like they planted a bomb. I received the signal for them to plant the bomb, but like there were then 2 bombs on the screen. It's classic. Like whenever you remember those old days of Call of Duty when someone would throw a grenade and you see them throw it twice, but there would only be 1 grenade, but you'd see them throw the grenade twice, right? laggy emote there. But some people are emoting really well. So, I mean, it might be that that's someone in the US. Let's see if I can get everyone in shot here. It's cool. Got 2666 Knitties here. There can be only one, and that is for Harukan. There's another one. There's another 666 Knitty there. Oh, look, Knitty Stepping Stones. Did you see that? That was pretty cool. Okay, we're kind of getting up to the point where we need to end the stream. There aren't any more questions. Like, I think everyone's just playing and having a good time, messing around, you know, which is what it's all about. That's why we kind of wanted to make this thing. It's so fun, isn't it? Like, just with these two basic things, like these, ah. Oh. We need to get more bombs going. All in a group, just see what happens, like with all the... Hey, thanks, Brian. Yeah. We've been talking about tooling for a long time, you know, and developing. And it's one of those ones where, like, yeah, projects always talk about, oh, we're doing a load of stuff in the background, right? And we've never been one of those projects. Like, we've never been a project that we're working in the background. We've always been quite open about what we're doing and what we're not doing and that kind of stuff. Let's do a group photo. Yeah, we should definitely all have Christmas hats on, and we should do it around the Christmas tree. There was a time recently when I said, you know, there is something we're doing in the background, and that was basically getting the multiplayer up and running. We decided to take a pivot and shift from doing single player development to multiplayer development, and kind of show that a team of like a very small team can kind of do this stuff. Just going to try and grab a screenshot of all this. Okay. Who bought their Knitty camera? It's so cool. Oh my goodness. It's so much fun. Yeah, so whoever it is who's, like, you can see yourself glitching there. I see yourself glitching. You're probably fine on your screen, but that's the lag thing, right? So, yeah, I think it's region, but it'd be really useful just to get some feedback from people, actually, like who was lagging on the screen when they watch it back. You know, if you think you were lagging and like where you were based, like that would be really interesting just to get that kind of info. 9 people in Nook. 9 people. Really looking forward to some of the other projects like coming out and with like active multiplayer demos like this, you know. We can actually kind of see how the thing is going to work and how it's going to feel to be in that world. That was such a great photo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people in Nook. Oh, we've probably spoken about this, Bishop, but I grew up on the south coast. I used to live in Lymington as a kid, and then I went to Bournemouth University, National Centre for Computer Animation. This is so cool. Like, we need to grab some shots out of this and stick them like on Twitter, because this is like the most metaverse people. Like, Knitties isn't a metaverse, but it's probably the closest thing to a metaverse on Cardano right now that we're going to have. So, yeah. Okay. We kind of do need to call it a day now. So, I've got to cook tea and do all that stuff. But yeah, I think like we've had a good time, haven't we? It's been fun. If you have any ideas for this, it's very open at the moment. We're just exploring anything. Like, it's been useful, really great just to see how people play and interact with you on this. You know, but there are some things that we need to work on. But it looks like everyone's had great fun because we're all Christmased up and we've all been jumping around and doing all the things. And soon there'll be more things and there'll be a little bit of competitiveness, but primarily Knitties is not going to be like a super competitive environment. It's going to be an exploratory and discovery based environment. You can do these funny things and have these cool interactions and stuff, but ultimately, you know, there's going to be lots of collaborative things to make other stuff happen. Lots of really simple arenas with problems to solve, that kind of thing. That's the idea. And some of this stuff will be procedurally generated, some of it will be fixed and not on rails, but fixed arenas. And one of the things that we're really looking forward to doing is working with other projects, and maybe they can design out arenas that are only accessible for their people like involved in their project or holders of their project, that kind of thing. But we're quite proud of what we've done here, to be honest. And you know, as you've seen, like, whilst there are some networking issues for some people, predominantly if you're in the UK, unfortunately, like I'm in the UK, it runs great for me because I'm the host. But anyone else who's in the UK, sorry, it's going to suck. And you know, that's the nature of decentralized, or making network gaming as decentralized as possible, is that you're always going to have that issue with regions and such like. So yeah, thanks a lot for coming along, everyone. This link is going to stay active for the next couple of days because I think it's pretty fun, and it'd be great to see you in here and see if we can try and organize 16 people at once. That would be crazy. Now what you can also do, and it's going to lag like crap actually, let's try it. Yeah, Rowdy's saying it's laggy in the US, so yeah, it's I'm in the UK, I'm host, the relays in the US. Yeah, that's kind of why. Let's try. Let's see if we can get 16 Knitties on the screen. That'd be really interesting. What you can do is you can let's duplicate our tabs and see if we can get up to 16. I'm not going to do that as host, okay, because I don't want to break anything. I don't think it'll break anything, but it might cause you all to lag even more than you are. Rowdy, are you lagging, like you're actually lagging, like your movement is lagging, or is it just the animation and stuff that's lagging? Oh, there's another one. It's so good. It just looks so much fun. Oh wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. So these are all separate clients now at this point. We should just gather them all together and do like a big bomb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Now mine's running pretty good. Like my GPU is my computer's warm, but then I've got like Unity running, I've got Maya running, I've streaming and all this kind of stuff as well. Movement, yeah. So this will be if it's snapping you back, Rowdy. That's that classic client prediction. Client's predicting where you're going to go, but actually your movement inputs were only correct on the host, and the host is correcting you and snapping you back. That's classic host client networking latency issue. Have we got everyone in? Is there 1, 2, 3? I don't know how many people we've got. I've lost count. Let's do a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is there 14 people here? Someone's dancing on the Christmas tree. It's running pretty good from my end. I mean, graphically, there shouldn't be a problem with all of this. I mean, there are some optimizations that need to be happen, and we're not. Yeah, that's so Rowdy. That is definite like host, client, region combination type stuff, right? That's with decentralizing from a server-based setup, we are rolling back networked gaming by about 12 years. It might be full. Planet, the room might be full. How many have we got? I think we're up to 16. We must be on 16. Wow. That's so cool. Yeah, even mine's getting a bit pulled around at this point. Yeah, I think we're at the limits of this host to the US to the client setup at the moment. So that's probably why. Oh, I think that the Knitties in the other tabs, once you've loaded up other ones, they are kind of fixed. What did I do? I can't remember what that was. Running back. I can't remember. There's a setting that I turned on that might have stopped that. I noticed that the other day. Yeah. Anyway, it's time to go. I just want to Christmas everyone though. So cool. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. It's been great fun. This link will be live, and I'm going to crash everyone out in just a second. What a great test, and what a great demo of Web3 gaming on Cardano. I think this has been really awesome. And the wallet integration is going to be up and running pretty soon. So have fun with it. We'll leave it up for a couple of days. Adam can monitor the networking on the server side, all that kind of stuff. I'll monitor activity on the relay. And we'll see how things go. And thank you very much for participating in this very fun alpha. I'm going to wave goodbye to you all. There we go. Bye-bye. I won't be around much tomorrow. I'll probably drop into the server and all that kind of stuff. Maybe drop a message on Twitter. But have a lovely next 2 or 3 days. Have a great Christmas holiday weekend. I hope you all get what you wanted. And I'll see you in a couple of days, and keep an eye on things, because there will be some speedy updates happening once the holiday's over. So thanks a lot for coming along, and I'll see you all soon.